So I wanted to make a quick video, just a few minutes, and as I don't know, talk about some stuff. um, Mainly because it helps me to kind of get it out there, kind of just voice what's been going on. Kind of helps me process it. So it's kind of what it is. But yeah, if hopefully some insight, some people can relate, that kind of thing, because kind of what this is all about, to relate to people, build a community, all that. But so a bit of backstory, and kind of from the thumbnail. So since since my son has basically started crawling, got more mobile, walking. Really, walking was kind of when it started. Of our dog, big the German Shepherd Malamute mix, 120 pounds of just pure fluff and energy. Um, Started getting I guess I wouldn't say not liking it, but not being a fan of the the more mobility of my boy. So didn't like to basically didn't want to play with him. He wasn't a fan of the toddler. So run away all the time, all that. So the last few months, he's gotten he'd gotten really skittish. I guess is the best word for it. Nervous. I wouldn't say necessarily afraid, but um, yeah. So basically, yeah, and then in that aspect, just start acting out. Basically, eating more stuff he shouldn't. He's big enough. He can get on our countertops in our kitchen and eat stuff. um, yeah. So having problems with it, and in general, I don't know enough. And with the baby, family, work, even this a little bit that I tried to do. Um, yeah, just we just didn't have time, and I'll be completely honest, just didn't dedicate the time probably that we needed to either do more training with Thor or what. But yeah, so me and Mark been talking for a while. We made a decision that we were going to rehome Thor, try to find a new home for him. So uh, yeah, so obviously this was completely optional. It's completely voluntary. I'm not saying it's like we had to do it. There was no other choice. But when you really come down to it, and this is kind of the realization I had, was at some point, basically, when I'm having to get on Thor's case all the time. Basically, he's always in trouble for eating things he's not supposed to, that kind of stuff. It has to be in his kennel a lot, where he's afraid of me. And I'm like, to the point where it's like, it's, I guess the realization that when basically neither lives, but our own and his, isn't being better, and it basically is being detrimental overall. um, Something's got to change. That was kind of the realization we had. So yeah, so that's kind of what we did. And leading up to it, over the last few weeks and month, just kind of like, all right, let's find a good home for him, find somewhere that either has other dogs or just like a couple with no kids that, yeah, that can play with him more, can get him to settle down a bit and not be as kind of skittish and afraid that he has been. So um, yeah, so that's the backstory. But Monday night, that happened. We've found, or responded to our ad that we put up in our local, I guess, classifieds. And yeah, came met him. He was scared of him at first, because he's scared of new people in general. He likes to be, he's protective, which is a great quality, especially in that type of dog. Um, but yeah, then they hung out with him for a bit, and yeah, decided to take him. They'd had bigger dogs when the couple had been grown up, so it would work for him. Um, but yeah, and I will say, leading up to it, I'm just like, all right, kind of, it's like almost that point where you're just kind of done, which is kind of sad to say. In a way, it's a horrible thing to say that you're just kind of like over, he's basically, but yeah, it's, I'll be honest, I was tired of being mad at him all the time, tired of being afraid all the time. So, but yeah, so helping pack everything up, he jumped in their car, fairly fine. But yeah, then obviously he kind of stared at me a little bit, and I will say, I don't know, there's only been a few times in my life where it felt like a complete failure, and felt like I'm abandoning someone Like only been a couple of times in my life that I felt just to that level, and that was one of them. And it was terrible. It yeah, yeah. And so it's been a rough week. And even just with little things, obviously, I mean, big dog, he's, you always know he's there type of thing. But I mean, for what, I've had 4 years since I got back from deployment, and it's what I mean. Yeah, I mean, it's the every morning, wake up, take him outside, get feed him, all that. They say goodbye to him every morning before I go to work, and so that next morning was probably the worst, it was hardest, because it was like my entire routine that I've had set in stone, never changed. He's just completely upset, and yeah, I don't know. So I'm like, I've been thinking a lot this week of just, how do you get past that kind of thing, and obviously again, is that completely voluntary. It's not like it had to happen. But in our circumstances with our boy, and then with us, gonna have another baby at some point. Um, yeah, it would have been a crappy life for him. At least, obviously that's what we're telling ourselves. Honestly, try to make it better. And yeah, I don't know. I've think about it a lot. I talk to my family quite a bit, and I'm just like, it's like, what do you do? And it's have feeling just that loss, that, oh, not, I wouldn't say necessarily regret, because I do think he's going to be in a better place now, and hope he has a lot better relationship with his new family. But I don't know. Yeah, just a lot of feelings of just like a failed, just abandonment, and it's hard. I'm not a fan of it. um, but yeah. So anybody else have ever had to do it, let me know. Let me know. Let me know how you guys get through it. I mean, it's just one day at a time. I mean, honestly, I play video games a lot to take my mind off it, which I don't know if it's healthy or not, but it helps me get through things. But yeah, let me know.